In this video, I am going to build a client factory producing lead gen campaign from scratch. And there's some things that are going to be a little jarring for you, but once you see how well it works, I think you're going to be pretty happy. So what I want to show you here is this is a campaign that we were running to get roofing companies. Okay, it was a little test we want to run to test a system of getting leads. And you can see we were paying like $81 a lead. And you're like, you must be sitting there thinking, oh my God, that's insane. I can't pay that. Let me ask you this question. If you were to close 14 clients in 2 weeks that were paying you roughly about $3,000 a piece, would that $81.40 seem expensive to you? The answer is probably not. The answer is like, how many times could I trade $81 for $3,000? You know, how often would I be allowed to do that? So I'm going to actually build a campaign just like this from scratch so you can see how this is done. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm in my my Facebook account. I'm going to create a campaign and I'm going to explain the strategy as we go along. So I'm going to go for leads. We're going to continue. All right. And who should we target? Who would be a fun group of people to target? What I think we could try to do is I've always thought that like accountants would be a good one to attract. So we're going to do accounting professionals. Okay. And we're going to go professionals, lead gen, and then forms. Now you can, with the naming nomenclature thing, I know people get insane about this. Just as long as you know what it is, it really doesn't matter. Okay, like just don't let that bother you. We'll do advantage campaign budget. We'll do $50 a day, bada bing. And we're going to go next. And this is where kind of the magic happens. So this is new ad set, leads ad set. We'll do accounting professionals. Now, here's basically where the strategy, where the rubber meets the road. All right. What you're going to do is target accounting professionals, and we have to have an offer. Right? We have to give them a reason to opt in. I believe if you're struggling to get clients, you should adopt the mindset of doing a performance-based model. What does that look like? Well, the traditional model, as you probably know, is a retainer. I pay you $3,000 a month or whatever, and you give me the all-you-can-eat buffet of service, right? Or it's compartmentalized, however you do it. In a performance scenario, what it is like, I will sell you I will get these clients to come in and I will sell them leads at a fixed price and that based on their criteria. So qualified leads that they say, hey, they meet these criteria, I consider them qualified and so on. And, I sell them for $50 and I try to get them for at least $40 or less. Okay. And you'll see how this looks when I write the ads. We're going to use instant forms. Okay. And why we're going to do that is the traffic tends to be cheaper. Lead form ads used to have a bad reputation for getting low quality leads. I'm going to tell you that is BS. That is complete nonsense. This is someone just selling you on the idea that that's stupid. I'm not selling you anything here. I'm going to tell you I've done this and made money off it, and I have clients doing it as I'm building this. It's just about what you're willing to pay for a lead, and once you know what you'll pay for a lead and you're comfortable with, then it's just a matter of just getting the information you need from them. Okay, you can bypass all this. We're going to go to audiences. We're going to click edit here, living in this location. Okay, I'm going to assume that most of these guys are probably the people I want to like, probably north of 35 years old. I could be wrong. They're probably not over 65. They usually tend to be 55. Genders doesn't matter to me. I'll work with anybody who just wants to make money. And what we're going to do at this point now is we're going to look at the targeting. All right. And we're going to come here. Now, what I'm going to do is just look for interests based on, different organizations. Okay. Institute of Management Accountants might be good. Let's try CPA. Let's see if that comes up. CPA. Okay. That's good. Work. Put some more in there. I like to stack these if you're just wondering why I'm doing this. accounting, business, and finance, accounting. There's a lot. I'm not going to like put all of these in here. I just want to give you kind of an idea. You know, accounting software, these guys are probably into that. I'm just going to put some of these in here. Okay. I would usually put more, but just for the sake of like getting this, presentation on the road, because I want to show you the lead form part of this. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go next. We're going to go performance offer. Of course, we're going to have an image or something, so I'll show you that. And we're going to do if and if then copy format, which I like. So what we're going to do is we're just going to leave these. I'm going to uncheck that. I don't really mess with that too much. Let's just skip this for a minute. We'll come back to that. Let's focus on the copy. So one of the tricks I like to use is a thing called Yay Text. It's free. What it allows you to do is bold text. So what you're going to do here is actually write the headline here, just copy paste it over. So what I'm going to do is this: if you're struggling to grow your practice, this will be the most exciting thing you ever read. And here's why. Okay, what I'm going to do is just scroll down here. Okay, I'm going to copy this, come here, paste, boom, and that will stand out in the feed, and you'll kind of see a preview here. Okay, we just launched a brand new program that generates leads that will become your client factory, and that generates, probably should put generates to be grammatically correct. And the best part is you only pay for leads that you deem to be qualified. So that's how I kind of pitch it, is like you only pay if it's qualified. And then I just go, here's how it works. You tell us what a qualified lead looks like. We use our system to produce those leads. And if they don't meet your satisfaction, I like to emphasize this, you don't pay. Now, if you're not familiar with writing copy, I always capitalize things I really want to emphasize. Only pay for this good stuff. Do not pay for this not good stuff. And then I like to kind of plant a seed in their head, like what this might look like. Imagine only talking with people who want your help and have the ability to pay you for it. The biggest problem you'll have is finding enough help to service all your new clients. Okay, so we make a big promise and a big guarantee. We'll come down here, we'll put the only pay per lead program just for accountants, CPAs. Okay. Now let's go find it, and we'll review all this stuff. So don't feel like if you feel like you're missing stuff, don't worry about it. I'll recap this. If you don't have good, now ideally what you would do is I would film a video myself, because I think if you can add video to your ads, it gives you such a huge advantage, and it really gets people to pay attention. But let's say you don't. Here's a good place to go. Okay, it's called Pexels, Pexels, and then you can search for free videos. You can also search for videos or photos and videos. So I might put like accountant. Go here, and then you can see like there's all kinds of different videos you can use. I think they're all pretty solid. I think it's just important to have them kind of movement on stuff, and you could basically, the way this site works is basically the following. Like you can download for free, and you just give them like a tip. Okay. So I'm going to just save this here, and I'm going to put accountant video, and I always put Pexels. Again, I would strongly advise that you use your own videos and stuff, but if just for the sake of putting this together, we'll just use this. So we're going to go ahead and grab this here, drop that there. The video you saw was my friend Josh, who's a really outstanding salesperson. So we used him because he was going to be the point of contact for people we were talking to. Now, the next part of this, I'm going to let this finish processing. The next part of this is really where you're going to get the best leads, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste one of the, I'm going to duplicate this, but I'll go through the steps so you can see what they look like. So I'm going to duplicate this one. We're going to call this accountant leads sample form questions, okay? Again, the nomenclature is up to you. As long as you know what it is, you can differentiate between different forms. All really matters. Now, this is really important here. More volume seems like the one you want. It actually, I found that the better leads and you still get the volume is from higher intent. What higher intent does is at the end of filling out the form, they have to check their information and swipe before they can finish. They can't just like that, and just go through the whole thing. So first thing we're going to do, you can use whatever image. I found it isn't really that important. Now, what they'll do is I'll put here is like, please fill in the forms below to put your call. Thank you for starting the process to start pumping qualified. We'll put obviously accounting. We'll just change that obviously because no one's going to know what the hell we're talking about if we put it. Roofing leads into your business. We'd like to get to know you a little better. Please answer the questions below. It'll help us determine this program is a good fit for you. This is really helpful because what it does is it makes it seem a little like exclusive, and it kind of qualifies people to understand like, hey, we're asking these questions because we're trying to make sure it's a good fit, not waste your time. All right. So the first questions we're going to see, you're just going to leave these alone. Full name, phone number, email. If you're really picky with your email marketing system like MailChimp, Klaviyo, whatever, you can separate full, first and last name. It's totally doable. It's up to you. But here are the questions that I want to really focus on to help you get better leads, okay? These will make your cost per lead go up. They will also make the time that it takes to close a lead go way down and end up making them cheaper, okay? What I want to know is if they need leads, how many do they get now? Because all these questions are going to set up, when you get in a conversation with these folks, how you can pitch them and show that you can solve the problems. How many leads do you generate a month currently? Okay, that's really important. How many more leads do you need? So you want to know what the gap is. Okay. Now, this is there's one more question that I would suggest that you put, and it's this. How much revenue per month are you currently generating? Now, why is that important? The reason why that's important, and I would put it probably about right here, is because you want to know where they're at currently and where they're trying to go. So that if you say, oh yeah, we're doing 50,000 a month, and say, hey, that's great. Where are you trying to get to? Like, what's your end game? Oh, we want to get to 100,000 a month. Okay, so they need to double their revenue, right? Now, this right here, I think these two questions might be the most important, okay? These are not only going to tell you if they have money to invest, but it'll also tell you how serious they are. What that means is that you can be a little more picky and choosy about who you contact, because if they don't have money to invest, there's no point in calling. You could just email them and say, hey, I reviewed your application. It doesn't look like this is a good fit for you. Maybe you if you want to create like a course for them, you could do that. Or just be like, screw it, I'm just going to move on. I'm not going to spend my time with people who can't tell me they can invest money. Now, here is what I would tell you to do here. And this is something that we did with a little bit of trial and error. If you charge $3,000 for your services, or you want them to, in this performance model, since you're going to pay per lead, if you want them to invest $3,000 in leads, ask them if they can invest like 4,000 or more. Why? Well, here's what happens. It'll show you that they have money to invest, A, but B, it's one of those nice surprises. Most people don't like surprises unless it comes in like a card with a check in it, right? Well, in this case, what we're going to do is say, we get on the, say, hey, Mr. Prospect, okay, how does everything, sound? Oh, it sounds great. Now, you said that you had at least $5,000 to invest. It's like, yeah. I said, well, I got good news for you. To get started today, it'll only be $3,000. We just wanted to make sure you had the money to invest and just make sure you were serious. Oh, okay, no problem. I have never seen anyone actually get upset when we say that. They're actually like, oh, they're only thinking like, oh, it's not going to actually be as much as I thought. This question right here is really important. It's how soon do you want to get started? This is really, I think, critical for you because you want to think about customers that you might get down the road. Everyone focuses on getting the customer today, but there's lots of customers you aren't going to get today. Sometimes you're going to get them a week from today, a month from today, sometimes a year from today if you're in business that long. But what you want to do is, if they're saying, hey, maybe about a month, it's still worth getting on a call with them. And it's still worth keeping them updated on like how you're doing and what kind of results you're getting. Okay. These two questions right here, I have found, especially connected with these questions, is going to get you very, very far. It's going to make your lead costs go up, most likely, not always. But it's also going to make the time to close way faster. Okay. I've seen it in different niches. I've seen it in services, all kinds of stuff. You just want to make sure that the person that's coming through can invest. And this format helped us close 14 clients in 14 days, one a day. We didn't close any on the weekends. I'm sure you can understand why, but there was days we closed, Josh closed a couple of, 2 or 3. It was amazing. Of course, these are just standard. You just obviously need a full name, phone number. What I would really try to encourage you to do is put verbiage that says like, please fill out your details here. Check to see if you're putting in a current phone and email, because sometimes they'll just autofill with whatever they log into with Facebook. So you want to make sure that they put the right one. After that, adding too many questions may impact your form submission rate. Good, because we don't want a bunch of tire kickers. Privacy, you have to link it with a privacy policy. Review screen, this is where they'll slide. You'll see they can slide. They'll just use their current ad. And completion, if you want to send them to like a website, or you want them to call, or you want to give them the ability to call, you can see right here, they could call you right away. Now, here's what I would suggest you do beyond once you're done with this part. Have a Calendly, link in here and tell them to self-book. Because what we found is when people self-book, 80% or more of the time they show up to the call. And about 60% of those people will self-book. The rest of them are probably, you're going to have to reach out to them and they're going to be a little tougher. And that's where you probably want to put them in an automation. I mean, there's a lot more to this, but this is, if you're struggling to get quality leads, this is exactly what I do. And this is exactly what I would tell you to do. And the good news is, if you want to do this on your own, you could completely just keep watching this and copy and paste this yourself. Otherwise, if you need help and you want this done for you, contact me. I'll put I have a form in the video here, and also put, if you're on LinkedIn, you can just direct message me. But if you follow this, just understand that your lead costs will probably go up. It doesn't happen 100% of the time. We've had situations where it stayed exactly the same. It was right in a good, like $20, $30 lead spot. But we stopped caring about the cost per lead. We wanted to know time to close, ratio to close, time to close. That's what we cared about. That's what made us big profits. Copy this, leave a comment, let me know what you like, what you have questions on, and I'll see you in the next video.